Maya's phone wouldn't stop ringing. She stared at the unknown number flashing on her screen, her heart already racing before she even answered. Something felt wrong. It was 2 in the morning, and normal phone calls didn't come at 2 in the morning. "Is this Maya Chen?" a woman's voice asked. Professional but gentle in that way that made Maya's stomach drop. "Yes, this is Maya. Who's calling?" "This is Sacred Heart Hospital. I'm calling about your sister, Olivia Chen. There's been an accident. You need to come right away." The next hour passed in a blur. Maya threw on whatever clothes she could find, called a rideshare, and spent the entire drive trying to get more information from the hospital. But they wouldn't tell her anything over the phone except that it was serious. Very serious. The emergency room smelled like disinfectant and fear. Maya rushed to the front desk, barely able to get her sister's name out. A nurse led her down a hallway that seemed to stretch forever, past rooms with curtains drawn and machines beeping. Finally, they stopped outside a room where a doctor was waiting. "Miss Chen, I'm Dr. Patel. Your sister was in a severe car accident about 3 hours ago. A truck ran a red light and hit the driver's side of her vehicle. She's alive, but she's suffered significant head trauma. Right now she's in a coma." Maya felt the floor tilt beneath her feet. A coma, but she's going to wake up, right? She's going to be okay? Dr. Patel's expression was kind but careful. "We're doing everything we can. The next 48 hours are critical. We need to monitor her brain activity closely. I won't lie to you, it's serious. But your sister is a fighter." Maya nodded, unable to speak past the lump in her throat. The doctor pushed open the door and Maya stepped inside to see her sister lying in the hospital bed. Tubes and wires everywhere, a breathing machine helping her lungs work. Olivia looked so small, so fragile. This was her big sister, the one who had always been so strong, so confident, so in control of everything. Now she looked like she might break if Maya touched her. "Olivia," Maya whispered, taking her sister's hand. It was warm but limp, unresponsive. "I'm here. I'm right here. You must be Maya." She turned to find a man standing in the doorway. He was tall, probably in his early 30s, with dark hair that looked like he'd been running his hands through it all night. His expensive suit was rumpled, his tie loosened, and his eyes were red. He looked exhausted and devastated. "I'm sorry, who are you?" Maya asked, confused. She'd never seen this man before in her life. "I'm Ethan. Ethan Ashford." He stepped into the room, his eyes fixed on Olivia. "I'm your sister's fiancé," Maya blinked. "Her what?" "Her fiancé. We've been together for 8 months. I proposed 3 weeks ago." He pulled out his phone and showed her a photo of Olivia wearing a stunning diamond ring, beaming at the camera with joy Maya hadn't seen on her sister's face in years. "I don't understand. Olivia never mentioned you, not once. We talk every week and she never said anything about dating anyone, let alone being engaged." Maya felt anger mixing with her shock. How could Olivia keep something this huge from her? Ethan nodded slowly. "She wanted to keep it private. We both did. Olivia had her reasons. She wanted to tell you in person, actually. We were planning to announce our engagement at a charity gala next month. She was so excited about surprising you." Maya sank into the chair beside Olivia's bed, trying to process this information. Her sister had been living an entire secret life, and now she was lying here unconscious, unable to explain any of it. "Tell me what happened," Maya said. "The accident." Ethan's jaw tightened. "She was driving home from a work dinner. I offered to pick her up, but she said she was fine. The police said a truck ran the red light at full speed. The driver claims his brakes failed, but they're still investigating." He paused, his voice breaking. "If I had just insisted on picking her up, if I had been there—" "Don't," Maya said quietly. "Don't do that to yourself." They sat in silence for a moment, both watching Olivia's chest rise and fall with the help of the breathing machine. The monitors beeped steadily, the only sound in the room besides their breathing. "Tell me about her," Maya said suddenly. "Tell me about you and Olivia. I need to understand." Ethan settled into the chair on the other side of the bed. "We met at a tech conference last year. I run a software company, and Olivia was there representing her marketing firm. She spilled coffee on my presentation notes, and instead of apologizing like a normal person, she told me my slides were boring anyway, and offered to fix them." A sad smile crossed his face. She was right. They were boring. We stayed up all night redesigning the whole presentation, talking about everything from business to books to what we wanted out of life. By sunrise, I knew I wanted to know everything about her. Maya felt tears sliding down her cheeks. This sounded exactly like Olivia. Bold, honest, brilliant. We started dating quietly because Olivia was up for a major promotion at work, and she didn't want people thinking she was distracted or that she'd gotten successful because of who she was dating. You know how she is. He stumbled over the tense, and Maya's heart broke a little more. She wanted to prove herself on her own terms first, and I understood that. I've dealt with people assuming things about my success too. So you're actually a millionaire? Maya asked. The expensive suit and watch should have been her first clue, but she'd been too shocked to notice. I've been fortunate in business, yes, but that didn't matter to Olivia. She cared about who I was, not what I had. That's rare in my world. Dr. Patel entered the room, checking Olivia's monitors and making notes on a tablet. How's she doing? Ethan asked immediately. Stable for now. We're seeing some brain activity, which is positive. But I have to be honest with you both, we're in a waiting period. We won't know the extent of the damage or her chances of recovery for several days at least. After the doctor left, Maya noticed something strange. As Ethan leaned forward and spoke softly to Olivia, telling her about his day and how much he loved her, Olivia's fingers twitched slightly. Just the smallest movement, but Maya saw it. Did you see that? Maya whispered. Her hand moved when you were talking. Ethan looked down at Olivia's hand in his, hope flooding his face. Olivia, can you hear me, sweetheart? But there was no more movement. The moment passed, leaving them wondering if it had been real or just wishful thinking. Over the next few days, Maya and Ethan became unlikely companions in grief and hope. They took turns sitting with Olivia, bringing each other coffee, sharing stories about the woman they both loved. Maya learned that Ethan was kind, devoted, and genuine. She understood why Olivia had fallen for him, but she also felt something else growing, something she didn't want to name. Ethan was easy to talk to, and in their darkest moments of fear for Olivia, he was the only one who truly understood what she was feeling. She found herself looking forward to his arrival each day, felt her heart lift when he smiled, and hated herself for it. Then, on the 5th day, a man in an expensive suit appeared in the hospital waiting room. He introduced himself as Vincent Drake, and he had a warning for Maya. Be careful with Ethan Ashford, Vincent said, his voice low. He's not the man he pretends to be. Ask him about the lawsuit his company is facing. Ask him about the people he's destroyed to build his empire. Your sister deserves better, and so do you. Before Maya could respond, Vincent handed her a business card and walked away, leaving her staring after him with a sinking feeling in her stomach. She looked down at the card, then back at Olivia's hospital room, where Ethan sat reading to her unconscious sister. Who was telling the truth, and what secrets were still waiting to surface? 2 months had passed since the accident, and Olivia still hadn't opened her eyes. Maya had practically moved into the hospital, sleeping in uncomfortable chairs and surviving on vending machine coffee. Ethan was there just as much, sometimes even more. They'd developed a routine. He'd bring real food for dinner, and they'd eat together in Olivia's room, talking to her as if she could hear every word. The doctors kept saying the same thing. Stable but unchanged. No improvement, but no decline either. Olivia was stuck somewhere between life and death, and all they could do was wait. Then Dr. Patel called them both into her office. Maya's hands were shaking as she sat down. Ethan reached over and squeezed her hand, and she let him, too tired to worry about what it meant. I've been consulting with specialists around the world about Olivia's case, Dr. Patel began. There's an experimental treatment available in Switzerland. It's shown promising results with coma patients who have her specific type of brain injury. What kind of treatment? Ethan asked immediately, leaning forward. It's a combination of advanced neural stimulation and a new drug therapy. The success rate is about 60% for patients showing minimal brain activity like Olivia. But I have to be honest with you, it's experimental, it's risky, and it's extremely expensive. How expensive? Maya asked, though she already knew the answer would be more than she could ever afford. The treatment costs about $2 million. Insurance won't cover experimental procedures. Maya felt the hope drain from her body. $2 million might as well be $2 billion. She was a graphic designer who did freelance work to pay rent. Her savings account had maybe $3,000 in it. I'll pay for it, Ethan said without hesitation. Whatever it costs, I'll pay. Maya would retreat to her room while Ethan worked or made phone calls to his company back home. They were strangers sharing space, nothing more. But slowly, things began to change. It started with dinner. Maya came out of her room one evening to find Ethan in the kitchen, actually cooking, not ordering takeout or hiring a chef, but genuinely cooking, flour on his hands and frustration on his face. "I'm trying to make pasta," he admitted, "but I think I'm killing it." Maya couldn't help but laugh. "You run a multi-million-dollar company, but you can't boil pasta?" "I've never needed to. There was always someone to do it for me." He looked at the pot like it was a complicated piece of technology. "Olivia used to tease me about it. She said I was helpless in a kitchen." Without thinking, Maya stepped forward and took over, fixing his disaster and turning it into an actual meal. They ate together at the small dining table, and for the first time since the wedding, they talked about something other than Olivia or logistics. Ethan told her about growing up poor, working 3 jobs to put himself through college, building his company from nothing. Maya shared stories about her and Olivia's childhood, the struggles after their parents' car accident, the way they'd raised each other. "Olivia never told me your parents died in an accident too," Ethan said quietly. "That must make this even harder." "Everything about this is hard," Maya admitted. "But at least this time, we have a chance to change the outcome." After that night, they started cooking together regularly. Ethan was a terrible cook, but he was willing to learn, and Maya found herself actually enjoying teaching him. They'd work side by side in the kitchen, and sometimes their hands would brush reaching for the same utensil, and Maya would feel a flutter in her chest that she immediately crushed down. This was wrong. Everything about this was wrong. One evening, after a particularly difficult day at the clinic where Olivia had seized during treatment, they came home emotionally drained. Maya poured them both wine, something she never did, and they sat on the couch watching the sun set over Zurich. "I'm scared," Maya said suddenly. "What if the treatment doesn't work? What if we did all of this for nothing? Then at least we tried everything possible," Ethan said. "At least we'll know we didn't give up on her." Maya turned to look at him. Really look at him. His tie was gone, his shirt sleeves rolled up, his hair messy from running his hands through it. He looked human in a way he hadn't when they first met. Vulnerable and real. "Can I ask you something?" she said. "Vincent Drake told me you've destroyed companies, ruined competitors. Is that true?" Ethan was quiet for a long moment. "Yes. In the early days of my company, I did whatever it took to succeed. I used aggressive tactics, found legal loopholes, crushed anyone who got in my way. I'm not proud of it." "Why did you do it?" "Because I was angry. Angry at being poor, angry at being underestimated, angry at a world that seemed designed to keep people like me down. So I fought dirty." He looked at his hands. "But I've spent the last 5 years trying to make amends, changing how my company operates, settling old lawsuits fairly, mentoring kids from backgrounds like mine. Olivia made me want to be better." "Does Vincent have a reason to hate you?" "His company was developing software similar to ours. I found out through a source that they were 6 months from launch, so I accelerated our timeline, launched first, and took the entire market. His company went bankrupt." Ethan met her eyes. It was legal. It was business. But it destroyed his life's work. "So yes, he has every reason to hate me." Maya absorbed this, trying to reconcile the ruthless businessman with the man who sat with Olivia every day, reading her poetry and holding her hand. "People are complicated," she said finally. "Yes, we are." The moment stretched between them, heavy with things unsaid. Then Ethan's phone rang, breaking the spell. He answered it, frowning at whatever he was hearing. After he hung up, he looked at Maya with concern. "That was clinic security. Vincent Drake is in Zurich. He tried to visit Olivia this afternoon." "What? Why would he come here?" "I don't know. But they didn't let him in. He's demanding to speak with you, though. He says he has information about the accident that you need to hear." Maya felt cold dread seep into her bones. "What kind of information?" "He wouldn't say." "But Maya—" Ethan moved closer to her on the couch. "I need you to be careful around him. He's not a good person, and he's clearly trying to manipulate you. Maybe he's telling the truth. Maybe you're the one manipulating me." The words came out harsher than she intended, but she was suddenly angry. Angry at this situation, at the confusion she felt, at the way her heart raced when Ethan was near. "If you really think that, then why are you here?" Ethan asked softly. "Because I love my sister. That's the only reason, is it?" He was looking at her in a way that made her want to run from the room. "Maya, don't." She stood up quickly. "Whatever you're about to say, don't. We have an agreement. This marriage is fake. We're doing this for Olivia, and that's all it can ever be. You're right. I'm sorry. Ethan stood too, putting distance between them. I'll contact Vincent and find out what he wants. You don't have to see him if you don't want to. But Maya knew she had to. Whatever Vincent knew about the accident, she needed to hear it. Even if she was terrified of what it might be. That night, Maya lay in bed staring at the ceiling, her mind racing. She could hear Ethan moving around in his room, probably unable to sleep too. The walls between them suddenly felt very thin. She thought about the way he'd looked at her tonight. The way she'd wanted to lean closer instead of pulling away. The guilt of it was crushing. Her phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. I know the truth about the accident. Meet me tomorrow at Cafe Odeon at noon. Come alone. What I have to tell you will change everything. Vincent. Maya stared at the message, her heart pounding. What truth could possibly be worse than what she was already living? She got up and walked to her door, her hand on the handle. She could go to Ethan, tell him about the message, face whatever was coming together. But instead, she went back to bed alone, clutching her phone, knowing that tomorrow she would meet Vincent, and somehow she knew that after tomorrow, nothing would ever be the same. Maya arrived at Cafe Odeon 15 minutes early, her nerves making it impossible to wait at the apartment any longer. She told Ethan she needed some time alone to explore the city, hating how easily the lie came out. He'd looked at her with concern but didn't push, just reminded her to call if she needed anything. The cafe was busy with the lunch crowd, tourists and locals mixing in the historic space. Maya ordered coffee she didn't want and watched the door, her stomach in knots. Vincent Drake walked in exactly at noon, looking as polished as ever in an expensive suit. He spotted her immediately and slid into the seat across from her without asking. Thank you for coming, he said. I know you probably think I'm the villain in this story. Are you? Maya asked bluntly. Vincent smiled, but there was no warmth in it. That depends on your perspective. I'm here to tell you the truth. What you do with it is up to you. Then tell me, what's this big secret about the accident? Vincent pulled out a tablet and set it on the table between them. I've been investigating the crash that put your sister in a coma. The police said the truck driver's brakes failed, right? That it was a mechanical failure, just bad luck? Yes, that's what they said. They were wrong. Or rather, someone paid them to stop looking deeper. Vincent tapped the screen, pulling up a document. I hired a private investigator. The truck's brake lines were cut. Someone tampered with them. Your sister's accident wasn't an accident at all. Maya felt the room tilt. What are you saying? Someone tried to kill Olivia, and I think I know who. If you're about to blame Ethan, not Ethan, me. Vincent sat back watching her reaction, or rather someone I hired. Someone who got overzealous trying to hurt Ethan through the woman he loved. Maya couldn't breathe. You tried to kill my sister? I hired someone to scare her. To make Ethan worry, to distract him from an important business deal. Just minor harassment, nothing dangerous. But the man I hired, he took it further than I authorized. He cut those brake lines without my knowledge. When I found out what he'd done, I fired him immediately. But the damage was done. You're confessing this to me? Why? Vincent leaned forward, his expression intense. Because I need your help to take Ethan down, and I'm betting that once you know the truth, you'll want revenge as much as I do. Ethan Ashford ruined my life. He deserves to lose everything. Maya's hands were shaking. You're insane. I should call the police right now. Go ahead. But before you do, ask yourself this. Why did Ethan really marry you? Think about it, Maya. He had other options. He could have taken out loans, sold assets, found other ways to get money. But instead, he convinced you to marry him. Don't you wonder why? To access the trust fund. He explained all of this. Did he explain that being married to you gives him access to something far more valuable? Your sister's company shares. Olivia owns 30% of a startup that's about to go public. If she dies as her only family member, you inherit everything. And as your husband, Ethan would have legal rights to those shares. That company is worth about $50 million. Maya felt sick. No, that's not, he wouldn't. Wouldn't he? Think about what you know of his history. The man who destroyed my company and dozens of others. The man who spent his entire life chasing wealth and power. You think he suddenly became noble? If that were true, why would he spend $2 million trying to save her? That doesn't make sense, Vincent smiled. $2 million is nothing compared to $50 million. And if the treatment fails, he looks like the devoted fiancé who tried everything. No one would question him. Meanwhile, he's gotten close to you, made you trust him, married you. He's positioned himself perfectly. Maya stood up, her chair scraping loudly. I don't believe you. You're just trying to manipulate me because you hate him. Maybe. But I'm also telling you the truth about the accident. That part you can verify. Check the police reports. Demand a new investigation. You'll see I'm right. Vincent stood too. When you're ready to make Ethan pay for what he's done, call me. I have a plan. Maya left the cafe in a daze. She walked through Zurich's streets without seeing them. Vincent's words echoing in her head. Could it be true? Had Ethan manipulated her from the beginning? She thought about the past weeks, the dinners they'd shared, the conversations, the moments when she'd felt her heart pulled toward him. Had it all been an act? By the time she returned to the apartment, she'd made a decision. She needed to know the truth. Ethan was in the kitchen making tea when she walked in. He smiled when he saw her. How was your walk? I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest with me. Maya stayed near the door, keeping distance between them. Did you know about Olivia's company shares? Ethan's smile faded. What? The startup she invested in. The one that's going public. Did you know she owned 30% of it? Yes, she told me about it months ago. Why? And did you know that if she dies, I inherit those shares? And that as my husband, you'd have legal rights to them? Ethan set down his teacup slowly. Who did you talk to? Vincent? Just answer the question. Yes, I knew. But Maya, if you're thinking what I think you're thinking, how am I supposed to know what to think? Maya's voice rose. You married me, Ethan. You convinced me to do something insane, something that betrayed my sister, and now I find out there's $50 million at stake. The money doesn't matter to me. You know that, do I? I don't know anything anymore. She was crying now, angry tears streaming down her face. Vincent told me something else too. The accident, it wasn't an accident. Someone cut the brake lines. Someone tried to kill Olivia. Ethan went very still. What are you talking about? Vincent hired someone to harass Olivia to distract you. But the guy went too far. He caused the accident, and you believe him? Vincent Drake, who has every reason to lie to you, to turn you against me? I don't know what to believe, but I can verify the accident investigation. I can find out if he's telling the truth about that part. Ethan moved toward her and Maya backed up. The hurt on his face was almost enough to make her doubt everything, but she held firm. Maya, listen to me. I married you because it was the only way to save Olivia. That's the truth. Yes, I knew about the shares, but that never factored into my decision. I love your sister. I would never, his voice broke. I would never hurt her, but you've hurt other people. You admitted it yourself. In business, yes. Never like this. Never personal. Never violence. He ran his hands through his hair, frustrated and desperate. What do I have to do to make you believe me? Before Maya could answer, her phone rang. It was the clinic. Her heart stopped. Miss Chen, you need to come immediately. Your sister is showing signs of consciousness. She's waking up. Maya and Ethan stared at each other for one frozen moment. Then they were both running for the door. The drive to the clinic felt like it took hours. Neither of them spoke. Maya's mind was spinning with everything Vincent had said, everything she'd learned, and the terrifying reality that Olivia was about to wake up. When Olivia woke up, everything would change. The lies would come crashing down. The marriage, the deception, all of it would have to be faced. And Maya still didn't know if the man sitting next to her was her sister's savior or something much darker. They rushed into Olivia's room to find doctors surrounding her bed. Her eyes were moving beneath her eyelids. Her fingers were twitching. After months of stillness, she was finally coming back. Olivia, Maya whispered, taking her sister's hand. Can you hear me? Slowly, painfully slowly, Olivia's eyes opened. They were unfocused at first, confused. She looked around the room at the machines, at the doctors. Then her gaze landed on Maya. Maya. Her voice was rough, barely more than a whisper. I'm here. I'm right here. Olivia's eyes moved to Ethan, standing on the other side of the bed. Maya watched her sister's face, waiting for recognition, for joy, for relief, but instead she saw confusion. Who are you? Olivia asked Ethan. The doctor stepped forward. It's okay, Olivia. You've been in an accident. You're experiencing some memory loss. This is completely normal. Memory loss? Olivia looked back at Maya, panic in her eyes. What happened to me? Where am I? Maya squeezed her hand. You were in a car accident. You've been in a coma for months. But you're going to be okay now. Months? Olivia tried to sit up, but she was too weak. I don't remember. I don't remember any of it. Ethan looked like someone had punched him. Olivia, it's me. It's Ethan. Do you remember me at all? Olivia studied his face, and Maya could see her trying, really trying to remember. But finally, she shook her head. I'm sorry. Should I know you? The doctor pulled Maya and Ethan aside while nurses checked Olivia's vitals. The memory loss is likely temporary. It's called retrograde amnesia. She may have lost memories from the weeks or months before the accident. Sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't. How much has she lost? Maya asked. We won't know until we do some tests and talk with her more. But you should prepare for the possibility that she may not remember your relationship, the doctor said to Ethan. The engagement, the accident, all of it might be gone. Maya looked at Ethan and saw devastation on his face. Despite everything Vincent had said, despite all her doubts, seeing Ethan's pain felt real. It felt true, or maybe she was just seeing what she wanted to see. Back in the room, Olivia was crying softly. I'm scared, she admitted when Maya returned to her side. Everything feels wrong, like I'm missing pieces of myself. It's going to be okay, Maya promised, though she had no idea if that was true. We'll figure this out together. We always do. Olivia looked at Ethan again, who stood awkwardly near the door. I'm sorry I don't remember you. Were we close? Very close, Ethan said quietly. But that's okay. We can start over. Were we dating? Ethan glanced at Maya, and in that moment everything hung in the balance. He could tell Olivia the truth, could explain about the engagement, could try to make her remember. But instead he said, It's not important right now. Just focus on getting better. After the doctors finished and visiting hours ended, Maya and Ethan walked back to the apartment in silence. The city lights blurred around them. Everything felt surreal. She doesn't remember you, Maya finally said. No, she doesn't. What are we going to do? Ethan stopped walking and turned to face her. I don't know. But Maya, whatever you believe about me, whatever Vincent told you, I need you to know something. I never wanted to hurt anyone. Especially not you or Olivia. Maya looked at him, this man who had become her husband under the strangest circumstances imaginable. She wanted to believe him, but trust felt impossible. We need to tell her the truth, Maya said. About everything. The engagement, the marriage, all of it. Are you sure? She just woke up. Maybe we should wait until she's stronger. We've already waited too long. But even as Maya said it, she wondered if she was ready for Olivia to know. Because once the truth came out, she'd have to face what she'd done. And she'd have to face the feelings she'd developed for her sister's fiancé. The feelings that made her the worst sister in the world. 3 days after Olivia woke up, Maya still hadn't told her the truth. Every time she tried, the words stuck in her throat. How do you tell your sister that you married her fiancé while she was dying? How do you explain something you can barely understand yourself? Olivia was getting stronger every day. Physical therapy helped her walk again. Her memory was slowly returning. She remembered her childhood, her job, even some recent work projects. But the months before the accident remained a blank space. She didn't remember Ethan, didn't remember falling in love, didn't remember planning a future together. And the strange thing was, Olivia seemed different, quieter, more thoughtful. She spent hours staring out the window, asking deep questions about life and purpose that the old Olivia never would have bothered with. It's like dying and coming back changes you, Olivia said one afternoon while Maya sat with her. I keep thinking about all the things I thought were important before. The promotions, the money, the status, none of it matters now. I almost lost everything, and for what? Maya squeezed her hand. You didn't lose everything. You're still here, but who am I now? I don't feel like the same person everyone keeps telling me I was. Olivia looked at her sister. Does that make sense? More than you know. That evening, Maya got a call from an unknown number. She almost didn't answer, but something made her pick up. Miss Chen, this is Detective Torres from the Zurich Police Department. I'm calling about your request to reopen the investigation into your sister's accident. Maya's heart raced. She'd filed the request 2 days ago after what Vincent had told her. Did you find something? Yes. You were right to push for a new investigation. The brake lines on the truck were definitely tampered with. We've arrested the driver and he's confessed to taking money to cause the accident. He's given us the name of the person who hired him. Who was it? A man named Vincent Drake. We have bank records showing the payment. Mr. Drake is currently being detained for questioning. Maya sat down hard. Vincent hired someone to kill my sister? According to the driver, Mr. Drake paid him to cause an accident that would injure, but not kill Miss Chen. The driver claims he was only supposed to cause a minor collision, but things went wrong. We're charging both of them accordingly. I thought you'd want to know. After the detective hung up, Maya just sat there trying to process everything. Vincent had orchestrated the whole thing. He'd tried to hurt Olivia to get at Ethan, and then he'd tried to manipulate Maya by confessing to a lesser crime while accusing Ethan of being the real villain. And she'd almost believed him. She had to tell Ethan. She pulled out her phone, but before she could call, there was a knock at her apartment door. When she opened it, Ethan stood there, and she could tell immediately that something was very wrong. "Can I come in?" he asked. Maya stepped aside, and Ethan walked to the window, his shoulders tense. "I just got a call from my lawyer. Vincent Drake has been arrested. The police found evidence that he orchestrated Olivia's accident." "I know. They called me too." Ethan turned to look at her. "So you know I was telling the truth. I never wanted to hurt anyone." "I know." Maya's voice was barely a whisper. "I'm sorry I doubted you." "You had every right to doubt me. I haven't exactly lived a life that inspires trust." He moved closer. "But Maya, I need you to know something. These past months with you, they've changed me. You've changed me." "Ethan, don't..." "I have to say this. Because tomorrow, we're going to tell Olivia everything, and after that, everything changes. So I need to say it now." He took her hands in his. "I'm in love with you, Maya. I didn't plan it. I didn't want it. But somewhere between pretending to be your husband and actually being your husband, I fell completely in love with you." Maya felt tears streaming down her face. "You can't say that. You love Olivia. You were going to marry her." "I cared about Olivia deeply. I still do. But what I feel for you is different. It's real in a way I've never experienced before. And I hope, you might feel the same way." "It doesn't matter what I feel," Maya said, pulling her hands away. "We did something terrible to my sister. We betrayed her. And even if she doesn't remember you, even if she's different now, that doesn't change what we did." "You're right. But Maya, we also saved her life. Doesn't that count for something?" Before Maya could answer, her phone rang. It was the hospital. Olivia had asked to see both of them immediately. She said she had something important to tell them. They drove to the clinic in silence, both terrified of what was coming. When they entered Olivia's room, she was sitting up in bed looking stronger than she had in days. A tablet was open on her lap. "Sit down," Olivia said. "Both of you." Maya's heart was pounding. "Liv, what's going on?" "I've been doing some research about my life before the accident, about the missing months." Olivia looked between them. "And I found some very interesting things. Like this." She turned the tablet around. On the screen was a photo. Maya and Ethan's wedding photo from the courthouse records. Public documents accessible to anyone who knew where to look. "You're married," Olivia said. Her voice was calm, but Maya could see the hurt in her eyes. "You married my fiancé while I was in a coma." "Olivia, please let me explain," Maya started. "I also found emails between you and Ethan planning the marriage. I found the trust fund documents. I found medical bills showing he paid for my treatment." Olivia set down the tablet. "So I understand why you did it. You did it to save my life." Maya was crying now. "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I never wanted to hurt you." "I know. And honestly, I'm not angry." Olivia smiled sadly. "Maybe I should be. Maybe the old me would be. But the person I am now, after everything that happened, I can see what you sacrificed for me." "Both of you," Ethan stepped forward. "Olivia, I need you to know that when I proposed to you, my feelings were genuine, but I also need to be honest. I've fallen in love with your sister." "I know," Olivia said quietly. "I can see it when you look at her, and Maya, I can see it when you look at him too, even though you're trying so hard to hide it." "I tried not to," Maya whispered. "I swear I tried. I believe you." Olivia reached out and took both their hands. "Here's what I remember from my old life. I was engaged to someone I barely knew. We were together 8 months, but we kept it secret. We barely spent real time together. It was exciting and romantic, but it wasn't deep. Not really." "You don't have to say this to make us feel better," Ethan said. "I'm not. I'm saying it because it's true, and I'm saying that what you two have, I've seen it these past few days watching you try so hard to hide it. That's real. That's what I thought I had with you, Ethan, but I don't think I did. Not like this." Maya shook her head. "But you lost your memories. Maybe when they come back. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. But I've had a lot of time to think about what matters, and I don't want to spend my second chance at life holding on to something that might never have been right in the first place." Olivia squeezed their hands. "I'm giving you my blessing, both of you. Be happy, love each other, you've earned it." "Are you sure?" Maya asked. "Because if you need time, if you need us to wait—" "I'm sure, but I do have one condition." Olivia's expression turned serious. "I want honesty from now on. No more secrets, no more lies. If you two are going to be together, really together, it has to be out in the open." Over the next few months, healing happened slowly. Olivia returned to their home city but decided not to go back to her old job. Instead, she started volunteering at a rehabilitation center, helping other people who'd survived traumatic injuries. She said helping others helped her make sense of her own survival. Maya and Ethan filed for divorce, waited the required time, and then dated properly. No secrets, no pretending. They told Ethan's board everything, and while there was scandal and gossip, they weathered it together. Vincent Drake was sentenced to prison for his role in the accident. The investigation revealed he'd been planning to sabotage Ethan's company for years, and Olivia had just been a pawn in his revenge scheme. Maya started painting again, something she'd given up years ago. Ethan encouraged her to open a small gallery, and she found joy in creating art that reflected her journey through darkness into light. The three of them had dinner together once a month: Maya, Ethan, and Olivia. It was awkward at first, but gradually it became natural. They were family, just not in the way anyone had expected. A year after Olivia woke from her coma, Maya and Ethan got married again. This time it was real. A small ceremony with friends and family, honest vows, and real love. Olivia was Maya's maid of honor, standing beside her sister with genuine happiness in her eyes. During the reception, Olivia pulled Maya aside. "You know what's funny? I got some of my memories back last week." Maya froze. "You did?" "Yeah, I remember falling in love with Ethan. I remember the proposal. I remember how happy I thought I was." Olivia smiled. "But I also remember feeling like something was missing, like I was checking boxes instead of following my heart. And now, looking back, I think my accident was the universe's way of giving all three of us a chance to find what we really needed." "Do you really believe that?" "I do. I needed to learn what actually matters in life. Ethan needed to learn what real love feels like, and you needed to stop living for everyone else and start living for yourself." Olivia hugged her sister tight. "We all got our second chances. We just didn't expect them to look like this." Maya watched Ethan across the room, laughing with guests, and felt gratitude wash over her. They'd started with lies and ended with truth. They'd betrayed trust and rebuilt it stronger. They'd nearly lost everything and found something better than they'd imagined. It wasn't the story any of them expected to live, but it was theirs, complicated and messy and real. And sometimes, Maya thought, the best love stories are the ones that begin in the most unexpected ways. Even if that way is getting married in a coma to save your sister's life and accidentally falling in love with the wrong person who turned out to be exactly right. Life was strange like that. Beautiful and terrible and strange, and absolutely worth living.